Hi, everyone. It's very nice to be in this session to whoever is seeing this World Congress of Recap live. It is my pleasure to have here today the Professor Thomas Schulze and a number of early career psychiatrists to do this recap of the World Congress of Psychiatry, which was virtual. So my name is Mariana Pinto Da Costa. I'm the chair of the Early Career Psychiatry section of the World Congress, the Psychiatry Association, and I'm a consultant psychiatrist at South London Maudsley and a senior lecturer at King's College London and at the University of Porto. And I'm going to start asking each of my colleagues to introduce themselves, and I'll go through alphabetic order. So if Francisco, if you could introduce yourself, say where you come from and where you are today.
Hello to all. Hello, Mariana. Hello, all the early career psychiatrists. Hello, Mr. Dr. Thomas Schulze. My name is Francisco Antonio Araniva Garcia. I'm from San Salvador, El Salvador, a small republic of the Central America. Now I'm working in the Department of Psychiatry of the Salvadorian Social Security Institute. And now I'm the head of the department, and the early career psychiatrist section for me is a very experience of life. Thanks to all this section, I think that it's important to involve all of us with the gremial association.
Thank you, Francisco. Margaret, could you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Mariana. Hello, Dr. Thomas Schulze and everyone who is watching us. I'm Margaret Ojeahere. I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I'm from Nigeria. I'm currently working in Nigeria too. I work with the Jos University Teaching Hospital as a consultant child and adult psychiatrist. I'm also the secretary of the caretaker committee of the early career psychiatrist body of the National Association in Nigeria. It was recently inaugurated so that we could have our own independent body. And I'm really glad to be part of this recap. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Margaret. Sanjana, can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Mariana. I'm Dr. Sanjana Kathiravan. I'm probably the youngest of them all, I guess. I'm just pursuing my psychiatry currently. I'm a third-year junior resident from Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh from India. And this has been a very overwhelming experience participating in various events. And this is my first World Congress, actually. So it was a very good experience. Thank you.
Thank you. And last, but certainly not the least, Professor Thomas, could you introduce yourself and share with us where you are today?
Well, thanks a lot, Mariana. So we did this together yesterday. I thought it was a great opportunity, although to promote our cause. Although I wasn't slated for today, I thought I'd just join in. And yeah, we always say no health without first mental health, but today I'm on my treadmill because there's also no health without physical health. And I think biological research shows that this is also very important for psychiatry. No, just joking apart, I think it has been a great honor and hosting this virtual World Congress. And so my name is Thomas Schulze. I'm the WPA Secretary for Scientific Section, working at the University of Munich as a professor, but also at SUNY Upstate Medical University in Syracuse, upstate New York, where I'm right now. So, and again, I like to highlight the diversity of WPA. It's not only it's regions of the world. It is age diversity. We all know that now. We see it here, and I always want to thank the early career psychiatrists because you're really the future, and you're taking the lead on many great projects. And today I basically just want to watch here, and I would like you, Mariana, I think you moderate that very well. But yesterday we had this great meeting of our sections. As the Secretary of Sections, it has always been my pleasure to work with all of you. And I think it is the breeding ground for great ideas. And yesterday we had 57 section officers presenting, participating. And I think you were there. I think many new ideas were born. It's hard to keep up with all these ideas. And I wish I could implement them at the level of the EC immediately. But of course, we need sometimes finances, we need logistics. But I think we can do it if all of you join the sections, for instance, right? I want to make a plea here. I don't know a plea, but I want to say, please, everybody who's listening, if you want to work with WPA, for WPA, just for psychiatry, join the sections. It's free. There's nothing. You are a member of the member society, then join the section. There are so many, up to 70. You will definitely find your area of expertise, your area of interest. And so you can do this. We know virtually we can do a lot of things, but you can get ideas from others. You can collaborate with other sections. You can implement things at your local university, hospital, wherever you are in the community. So I would just like to use that forum to make the case for the sections, because that is really what drives the work of WPA. And with this, I hand over to you, Mariana.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for encouraging us, as always, to join the different sections. Good. So it's exciting to see that all of us are in different cities and in different countries and in different settings having this discussion. And I'm really interested to hear everyone's input on how it was for them to take part in the World Congress of Psychiatry. So Francisco, shall you start with sharing how was it these past days for you?
Well, it's very interesting. This is my fourth World Congress of Psychiatry. The first World Congress of Psychiatry were in Berlin, the second in Mexico City, the third in Lisbon. And I think that experience, a really different experience, but the essence of the academic issues is the same. It's the same. The only thing that changed is the interaction, live interaction, that I think it's very important to interact with all colleagues, with all the people, with the sections, and but the essence of different experience. I want to thanks to the organizers, to all the committees, to the sections for all the symposium, to Kenneth's group for all the logistic in the digital media. Very, very, very friendly, very intuitive, all the platform. And for me, it's the first experience of total virtually Congress. And it's a great experience. And I think to say to all the early career psychiatrists that joined to the section, it's interesting. Today is March 13th. Exactly today, I have more than 7 years to graduate, and I have more than 40 years old. And I think today is my last day of early career psychiatrist. But for me, it's a very experience of life. I want to thanks to Mariana, to all the members of the sections. I want to thank to Professor Thomas Schulze. This is, I think, this opportunity I will later write to you to join another section. This is an important, the WPA is an important platform, an umbrella association. I'm a member of the Salvadorian Association of Psychiatry. It's an important umbrella association to see leadership. Now I'm the head of the Department of Psychiatry, and this section helped me so much. This Congress helped me so much, and I think that is important for all the people. I'm very glad to see my colleague Dennis Moran today take the leadership of WPA quiz. And for me, I'm very, very happy. I'm very excited to end this Congress. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Francisco. And thank you so much for sharing that today is the final day of your official membership as early career psychiatrist. But what a lovely way to celebrate it here with us. Good. So now I'm going to be moving on to Margaret. So Margaret, I've seen that you were speaking with other people at your house. So I see that it looks you're busy. Can you tell us how it was taking part in the Congress in the last few days?
Okay, for me, it has been very, well, it's been an interesting conference. I particularly enjoyed it. It was educative, informative, and engaging too, but it's been also challenging. I had to multitask, yes. One of my sons felt there was something urgent I had to attend to. So I've had to attend this Congress while driving, picking the children from school, while doing homework, while putting them to bed. It's been interesting. Yes, it made me multitask, made me do some other things, but for me, it's the first of many, first virtual Congress of the WPA, first that I'm going to be attending with my family. I'm always having to travel and all that. So it's a nice one for me. My first experience with World WPA Congress was last year in Lisbon. Someone told me about it and I went, and it was an amazing experience. It opened my mind, it opened me to several things, connections, collaborations, educative platforms, and I was eagerly looking forward to this one. So when it went virtual, I was like, anyway, I'm going to have to be there. And I haven't been disappointed. Yes, I wish I missed the camaraderie that when you are on the one-on-one conversations, the talking and exchanging knowledge over dessert or something. But I think within our limitations, we're able to make something out of this. There was the Zoom meetings, the interactive platforms. We try to make the best of our current times, and I want to give kudos to the organizers in all sections, and even the people in charge of logistic, the Kennis group. I want to say you actually tried in making this happen, and I'm glad I've been part of it. Thank you, Mariana.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret. I fully agree that there's, something missing, of course, when we are in virtual congresses. But at the same time, I think through the technology and the different tools that the World Congress of Psychiatry was able to provide, we did find, different ways to make the most and I suppose to also integrate this Congress in our lives. And we had, it has already been said by Sami in the closing ceremony, but we had this year different innovative sessions, the WPA quiz and the 3 minutes competition. And I'm aware that Sanjana actually took part in all these new formats. So perhaps, Sanjana, you could share how it was for you to take part in all these experiences and actually what led you to try this out.
Thank you. Actually, this was, as I had mentioned earlier, this was my first World Congress that I've been attending since the time I have begun my psychiatry career. And, I was very excited the first time I saw the news. Probably we're going to Thailand or something. Me and my colleague had registered for the same, but, as the pandemic was there and, we were a little disheartened. But nevertheless, thanks to the team especially, you had increased the deadline for the abstract submission and other things, so that really gave us an opportunity to prepare and upload the posters. And we were being informed time and again about various other events that were going on, like the 3 minute competition and the quiz. We were like, okay, let's just try it out and let's see how it goes. So that is how I had given my name, and I was lucky I got selected for both the 3 minute competitions. And although I was very anxious in the beginning, I really have to mention Mariana in this. She kind of, made our anxiety levels go down and kept, talking with us throughout and making us feel at home and comfortable. So I would really have to thank you for that, because that was like one of my first ever presentations on a, international level, and I was very, very anxious. But I was glad I, stood fifth and sixth in those. And the quiz today was, like a rapid fire kind of, adrenaline rush, I would say, because it was the way the quiz was conducted itself was really amazing, because it was like, a story is going on, you're being carried. I think Sami was there in the first part of it, and you're being carried along with them, and in between there are these questions, and I was the team leader of my team, so it was like we were chatting here. Is it C? Is it D? Come on, someone tell me, and the time is ticking. So we had great fun in that, and it was like first come first serve, so the time was the most important factor. So it was going neck and neck, and we were third place till the end, and the last question, and bam, we came second, and we were the winning team overall. So that also was a very good experience. But again, yes, the time difference, I would say, was the most important factor, because we had to make note of what the Indian standard time was for various sessions, and attend them amidst our duties, because I'm a resident here, so I have my duties. So we had to kind of jumble everything, and find the way out for each of these events. And I really enjoyed the presentations, enjoyed listening to others' presentations and various other talks as much as I could attend. But I'm looking forward to rewinding and going through them, because it's available for the next 3 months. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you. And it seems very, very nice to have a first experience of a Congress and really try out everything. Well done, Sanjana, and juggling your work time and all of that. Good. Sami, I heard you saying your overview in the closing ceremony, but it would be nice if you could maybe share with us a bit more how it was for you from winning the fellowship to going through the idea of having a WCP quiz. And actually, initially, it was going to be in the face-to-face format, and then putting a group together and reshaping it to make it online. So if you could share that with us.
Absolutely. In fact, the idea of the quiz started, I think, in the the early career World Psychiatry conference that took place in December 2019 in Tunisia. And then at that time we presented so a quiz that was quite successful. And then we said, why not, and Lamia told me, why not replicate this same session in the World Congress of Psychiatry in Thailand. And then when, in fact, we put that into practice, we got, with your help, Mariana, with the help of Professor Sartorius, we tried to organize it, of course. And there was, we were looking also for early career psychiatrists to join us to prepare the quiz. And then, so Dr. Denise Moran and Dr. Arpit Parmar was, we were happy to have them in the team with us. So the four of us worked on that. Of course, initially it was planned the session was planned to be face-to-face, but then again, we had to adapt to a virtual format. And thanks for the organizers, because they did a good job trying to minimize the lag. The problem with the quiz was that time is very important, and any lag, it can really ruin the whole game. So as opposed to other presentations or sessions, where if you have some sort of a few seconds of delay, this does not really cause any problems. But in a quiz, it might really cause many problems for the participants. So thanks again for the organizers. But apart from that, I think overall, I have the impression that this was the World Congress of Psychiatry, where early career psychiatrists had the biggest role among all previous versions. I don't know if you agree, Mariana, because I regularly attend the World Congress of Psychiatry, and I think the participation this year was more important than before in various scientific activities, various sessions. So I don't know what's your input on that.
Good. Thank you, Sami, for raising the question. So first of all, I do think that the presence of the early career psychiatrists this year was quite key. I think we should also remember ourselves that usually early career psychiatrists are also familiar with using technology and attending already virtual sessions, etc. And it might not be the case to all, senior psychiatrists, depending on the countries that they are and also their digital competencies, age, etc. So I suppose that on that note, there might have been an opportunity for early career psychiatrists to be even more involved this year. But at the same time, I think since the section of early career psychiatrists was established with the support of Professor Afzal Javed, and it was led by my colleague Lucian Helkoli, it has been organizing more and more sessions and also delivering and also being trusted by the leadership of WPA. So ourselves today, we are building on the legacy of our former early career psychiatrists that started the work before us, and the way that we work and the way that we contribute to the different sessions surely has been seen positively. And I think the trust that the WPA leadership has today is building on, the work that has been done by early career psychiatrists in the past years, but also like in more distant years, because Professor Thomas Schulze himself, he took a lead role in the European Federation of Psychiatry Trainees, and he's now today in the executive committee. So there are more and more people that sooner or more remotely time ago, they were psychiatric trainees and early career psychiatrists themselves, and now they're not that early in their career, or they are not that young, but they know how much we can contribute to associations, and they also know that one day we're going to be the seniors ourselves. So I think that's an important point. But at the same time, also just to emphasize how popular it was, the WPA quiz in terms of the organization, because I remember, and I went to check today, when we sent the call in the mailing list of the early career psychiatry section for people that wanted to contribute to the organization, not as participants. We had 12 people that were interested to work with Sami. So, and unfortunately, because the organization needs to deliver, we weren't able to accommodate everyone. But normally every time in the early career psychiatry section that we call for an opportunity or for something, there's numerous early career psychiatrists that respond. And I think one of the results is the fact that today we have, even in this chat that we have as a recap that wasn't organized with so much time in advance, and we were able to find people from all over the world to share their experiences. So I'm really pleased with what we are doing, and it's only because of all of you and all of us, and also for the leadership of WPA in trusting us to occupy more time and space in the program, but also in the activities that WPA provides. But perhaps, Thomas, as not so distant in the past, a psychiatric trainee that had a leadership position in FPT, perhaps you could share your thoughts and reflect on this movement of early career psychiatrists and the trust that the seniors put in us.
Well, I'm happy to do this. I think the great thing about early career psychiatrists is that, you are a good model how you are involved, but you always have the same mission, but there's a huge turnover because you evolve in the section and you go to different, positions, and that's a great thing. It is it's a lively body, and it's very, you have a natural turnover. But at the same time, I think you're getting stronger all the time. But you also a catalyst for movements all over the world. So I think this is a model for WPA as a whole. I think this is what I think, in the old days when I attended my first World Congress of Psychiatry, that was in Hamburg, Germany. That was, when was it? 1999 or 1998 or something like this. I, as a first-year resident, felt lost, But honestly, I must say, they already had this fellowship program. So I was selected as a fellow, and again, under the leadership of, that was the Secretary General then, Juan Mesic. I think I was, they already started this this movement, but it was more like, you know, top down. But I felt it was really hard for me. I was interested, I mean, I do psychiatric genetics, but I also like the transcultural thing. And I went to the transcultural section. I don't even know what I think it was but I felt, felt kind of awkward because there were all these experienced seasoned leaders, and how do I interact with them? How can I say, hey, I want to become a member, right? And I felt it's not the right thing to do. And I think you have helped break these barriers. And I think you also convinced the leadership of WPA that this is needed. You know, as you said, I was in the EFPT, and I'm somewhere in the middle, being 51 years old. But I think this is a model, and this model is always rejuvenating itself, or your body is rejuvenating itself, while at the same time keeping the mission and building the mission. This is a great model for every society. So I'm just very happy that you guys are around, and you show us the way. But in a society like ours, we need both, right? We need the very young, the medium section, and then the seasoned ones. I think WPA has done a great job in that, and so I'm just happy that this conference actually has given you a chance. With, you know, as you said, you are the internet natives, kind of your generation, and for I think you guys, this was it was easy to just jump right in. So again, I would like to thank the organizers of that conference. I mean, Helen Herman did a great job. Norman Sartorius, our colleagues in Thailand, putting this together. I mean, it was awful, right? To postpone it, but we are looking forward to going there in person at one point. So very soon, actually, hopefully when the pandemic is over, and the organizing committee that accommodated all these new ideas. So that's all I want to say. I think it's been a great conference. Your input has been critical, and I think this is the way we have to move forward, combining old, young, and so forth.
Thank you so much, Thomas. I'm just trying to see if there's any questions from the audience, but I don't think there are any. So perhaps if we could just finish, and if each of you could say like a final thought or call for action, and we can start perhaps again alphabetically. So Francisco, if you could share your final thoughts.
Yes, my final thought is to strengthen all the WPA, the section, to all the ECPs that is not joining the section, that join the section. It's free. It's an excellent opportunity. It have a lot of experience, a lot of opportunities, and it's a model of leadership. And that is my call for action.
Thank you so much, Francisco, for your words. And I will emphasize that we are in different time zones. And earlier, Francisco was saying how he has woken up at 2 a.m., etc., to join WPA sessions. So he's very, very committed to contribute. So thank you so much, Francisco.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you.
Margaret, do you want to share your thoughts?
Okay, I want to start by thanking the organizers once again. I think it was a splendid Congress, and I think they did so well in trying to ensure that we get the most out of it. However, I want to ask that, or plead rather, that in subsequent, I think the innovations were amazing, they're commendable, but there's always room for improvement. I know that there's really little we can do about the time zone, particularly being a virtual Congress. But I was listening to Professor Sartorius talking about the history of the WPA, and the next Congress might just be virtual again. And if it turns out to be so, I don't know how they can try and address this, because I know that it's a bit difficult. Yes, it's there's the opportunity of having to go back to watch the recorded sessions, but engaging in the live sessions has this unique thing about it. So I don't know if they can work on that. And then I also want to, I would like to see a session where, I know, yes, I know it. They try to cut across different topics, biological, social. They try to cut across, but I would like to see a session where Africa comes up, or rather developing countries, because we have a unique problems, and it will be good to hear our own unique challenges, particularly from the ECP angle. I know a number of my colleagues who would have loved to be here, but for diverse reasons, financial constraints, couldn't get time off work. I am a bit privileged because I'm a consultant, but even at that, I couldn't attend the Tuesday and the earlier sessions on Wednesday because we are limited in numbers and we had so much to do. We had to be there and all that. So I will, I'd like to see a session where we can have the ECP from Africa collaborate and have a session or something, or from developing countries rather. I think it's been amazing. I want to, for colleagues who are watching us out there, we have to make personal sacrifices. Yes, the WPA can do it, yes, but we have to make personal sacrifices. It's an amazing opportunity to be part of this Congress. It provides one with several opportunities, collaborative opportunities, educative, is informative, and I want to ask that as much as possible, we should try to be at the next Congress in Cartagena next year. No, sorry, in October this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. And certainly the note for the call for action of more contribution for low and middle income countries colleagues, it's taken, and thank you for your input. Sanjana, do you want to share your thoughts with us?
I'll just be brief. I think being the first, I'm looking forward to many more such conferences, including the one that is coming this year. And that's it, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Sami.
Thank you. So I wanted to second what Margaret said actually about an important role of African countries and low to middle income countries in general. I think the WPA is doing a good job in that, but we also have to take initiative. Myself being also from a middle income country originally and from Africa. So I think there are opportunities out there and we have to take these opportunities. And it's very important for psychiatry not to be only about patients in the Western culture, because there are also some specificities in each of the cultures, each of the regions, and patients from low to middle income countries have their own particularities. So I think, so there were some presentations during this Congress about, this aspect of, like discussions about patients from different parts of the world, but I think we can be proactive. There's a way, there's the opportunity of being more proactive, taking the initiative and participating more, so that our voice is heard. Thank you very much again. Looking forward to meeting all of you in the next conference, which will be virtual, and then hopefully as well in the conference in 2022 in Bangkok, which we hope will be in person or face-to-face again.
Thank you very much, Sami, and thank you so much for all your contributions to this Congress. Thomas, the final words.
Well, I already said so much, too much, but I just would like to tell you, there's still the submission for symposia is still open for the 2021 October conference. Actually, the submission for symposia has been now extended till March 24th or so. So, Margaret, I think your point is well taken. And why don't you put together a intersectional symposium or something, transcultural psychiatry, early career psychiatry, whatever, with the focus on this. I mean, I'm not the program committee, but I'm part of the program committee somehow, but at one point I will see all these submissions, but please consider submitting something. So apart from that, I've already said enough. It's a great meeting, great leadership here from the early career psychiatrist running the show. See you at the next meeting.
Thank you, Thomas. So thank you all for contributing. Thank you all who are seeing us through Facebook Live. I hope you enjoy the Congress, and I look forward to see you soon, hopefully in person. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.